One of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time is, should I roll over my 401k or not? What are the benefits? What are the benefits of just leaving it at the 401k? So let's go ahead and go through that and actually figure out what's going to be best for you. It's Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where we don't just invest the dough, we like to educate you on your dough. And so with a 401k, at some point or another, you're going to look to either roll that over or put it into a new 401k. If you've left a company, you can transfer it into the new 401k. A lot of options that you're going to get faced with. The thing is, though, is what is best for you is not going to be the same that is best for somebody else. One 401k plan is different than another 401k plan. So a lot of this is general stuff, but there's some great nuggets here that I've learned by helping people with the process to really figure out what's going to be the best situation for you. So the first one I want to talk about is age 55. If you are retiring at age 55, there's a good possibility that you need to leave this 401k at your employer. Now, I have seen one employer plan that does not allow you to withdraw from a 401k. If you do withdraw, you got to withdraw the whole amount. So that's a problem. So check with your 401k plan. But for this one, if you are going to retire at age 55, oftentimes there's the rule of 55 where the 401k company is going to allow you to withdraw from this without the early penalty that happens if you roll it into an IRA. And so just remember that one. A lot of times what we're doing with clients is actually leaving that, or at least a portion of that there. And then once they reach 59 and a half, we can look at alternatives and see if it's better to roll that over. The next one I want to talk about, fees. All right, that's probably the one that gets the most questions. You know, what are your fees? Well, what are the fees of the 401k? This one, I'll be honest with you, it's all over the map. A lot of times they say, especially for smaller employer plans, the fees are much higher in a 401k. For larger plans, oftentimes the fees are much lower. So you're going to have to look at that. But with that, you also have to think of the expense fees. Oftentimes you have mutual funds in a 401k. If you have mutual funds, oftentimes there's going to be higher fees on the mutual funds than you would have if you were to buy individual stocks or exchange traded funds. Now, bear with me because I've got one here in a minute that's probably going to be the biggest one. And this is the biggest hang up that I see when it comes to the 401ks. But the one right here, limited investment options. So limited investment options, that's a given. You know, 401ks, everybody complains about the fact that, hey, I can only put so much in a 401k when it comes to the investment side. Like I can only do, you know, the S&P 500 or this bond or that. You're stuck. You don't have a lot of different options generally with that. Now, lack of a dedicated advisor. Again, this is plan specific. Some plans actually do have a dedicated advisor for you, which is great because maybe they'll get to know you. The problem that I have seen, though, is oftentimes it's not personalized because, you know, you got to face it. I mean, you've got a company that's handling all of these different 401ks. How many people are they talking to on a regular basis? Maybe they don't get to know you personally in your situation, which makes it a little bit difficult for them to advise you. Limited planning. All these 401k plans seem to start having some sort of financial plan. Not a sales pitch, though. Hey, maybe it is. I have seen so many people that come over and they say, you know, I did a little financial plan over here and here's where I'm at. But then when we do a financial plan with them, they say, oh, wow, this is the kind of planning that I really wanted. So then they realize that limited little planner that they're doing and running just a quick analysis, that's a small snippet of what really financially planning is. Another one is Roth Conversions. Roth Conversions are something that oftentimes you can't do if you have separated from employment. There's not a lot of options there. Sometimes you don't even have a Roth 401k to transfer money over into the Roth side. So that's one to think about. Roth 401k still require an RMD. That's the weirdest thing in the world because you have a Roth 401k, but at 72, you won't have to pay taxes on the withdrawal, but you still have to take that money out. It's a required minimum distribution. And the one that I really told you was the biggest one to stay with me on. Here it is. And this is something I've really seen that so many people have issues with because it really messes up where to pull from and what to do, especially right now in a down market. This is probably the biggest downside of leaving your money in a 401k when you are retired and trying to withdraw from it. And that is specifically just withdrawal concerns because a 401k company, generally speaking, is not going to allow you to call in and make a withdrawal from a specific fund. Instead, they are going to sell across all funds when you go to make that withdrawal. And when that happens in a down market, you're not able to say, well, you know what, this fund is a bit more conservative. This is the fund I want to pull from right this second, such as things like we do when we're setting up withdrawals for clients. We're able to say, hey, this fund's the one we want to pull from right now because it's not down near as much. Now, as the market rebounds, maybe we'll take off the top of one of the higher performing funds. That's the biggest problem that I've seen with 401ks and trying to leave it there. But when it comes down to it, ultimately, it's up to you and it's all up to what the plan offers.
Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more FinTips videos, click here. Be sure to like and subscribe also.